the one-arm pull-up. It's the undisputed king of pulling exercises, a show of insane functional strength that very few people ever achieve. But most people who try it fail. And they fail because they're missing the secret. They look at the one-arm pull-up as a single goal, a giant mountain to be climbed in one shot. But that all-or-nothing approach is exactly why they stay stuck at the bottom. They'll spend months, even years, grinding out endless standard pull-ups or jumping into failed one-arm attempts. All that does is build frustration and lead to some pretty nasty elbow and shoulder injuries. They're working on exercises that just don't build the specific kind of strength you need, leaving them plateaued and ready to quit. They start to think they just don't have the right genetics. But that's not it at all. The one-arm pull-up isn't one skill. It's the final exam at the end of a very specific course. In this video, I'm going to give you that exact course. These are the 5 essential stages of progression that will take you from a standard 2-arm pull-up to your first, clean, 1-arm pull-up. If you follow these stages and master each one, your first 1-arm pull-up isn't just possible, it's inevitable. The non-negotiable prerequisite before we even dream about the 5 stages, we have to talk about the price of admission. You just can't build something incredible like a 1-arm pull-up on a weak foundation. This is the step most people skip, and it's why they fail before they even really begin. The prerequisite is mastering the basic 2-arm pull-up. And I don't mean those shaky half-rep pull-ups you see all the time. I'm talking about clean, strict-form pull-ups. That means you start from a dead hang with your arms totally straight. You pull until your chest hits the bar, you hold it for a second, and then you control yourself all the way back down. No swinging. No using your legs. This strict form is what builds real, usable strength in your back and arms, not just the ability to cheat gravity. So what's the benchmark? The standard in the calisthenics world, and what I demand from anyone I train, is the ability to hit at least 12 of these perfect pull-ups in one set. If you can't do 12 yet, that's your only mission. Forget the 1-arm pull-up for now. Your entire focus needs to be on building that foundational strength. Work on your pull-ups 2 or 3 times a week, focusing on adding more reps or more sets over time. Once you can comfortably hit that 12-rep mark with perfect form, you've earned the right to start stage 1. Rushing this part will only get you hurt and waste your time. Build your base, and the rest of this journey gets a whole lot smoother. Stage 1, building the pillars of control. All right, welcome to stage 1. If the prerequisite was about general strength, this stage is all about building the 2 specific pillars a 1-arm pull-up stands on: elite grip strength and total scapular control. Without these, all the pulling power in the world is both useless and dangerous. First up, the 1-arm hang. It sounds simple, but it's an incredibly important exercise. You're just going to hang from the bar with one arm fully extended for time. This does 2 things. First, it conditions all the tendons and ligaments in your wrist, elbow, and shoulder to handle your entire body weight on one arm, which is key for preventing injury. Second, it builds a ridiculously strong grip and forearm. Your grip is your connection to the bar. If it goes, the whole movement is over. Your goal is to work up to a 30-second 1-arm hang on each side. If you can only hang for a few seconds at first, don't sweat it. That's normal. Just keep practicing and your time will go up. Now for the second, and maybe even more important, piece of this stage, the 1-arm scapular retraction, or scap pull. While you're in that 1-arm hang, you're going to do a very small but powerful movement. Without bending your elbow at all, pull your shoulder blade down and back, away from your ear. Your body will lift an inch or 2. Hold that squeezed position for a second, then slowly lower back to a dead hang. That's 1 rep. That tiny move is the very beginning of a proper 1-arm pull-up. It's what engages your back and stabilizes your shoulder before your arm muscles even get to work. Starting the pull with your scapula is absolutely essential for shoulder health and for generating power. If you let your elbow flare out or you don't control your shoulder blade, you're on the fast track to shoulder pain. Your mission for stage 1 is to master both of these skills. You need to be able to do 3 sets of 30-second 1-arm hangs on each arm, and 3 sets of 8 to 10 perfect 1-arm scap pulls on each arm. Don't even think about stage 2 until you own this stage. This is your foundation. Make it unbreakable. Stage 2, introducing unilateral load with assisted reps. You've built your foundation. Your grip is solid and you can control your shoulder under load. Now in stage 2, we finally start pulling with one arm. But we're going to do it smart. We're not just going to wildly attempt a one-armer. Instead, we'll use a method that lets us safely and progressively shift more and more weight onto that single arm. This is the finger-assisted one-arm pull-up. This is one of the most effective and measurable progressions out there. Grab the bar with your main pulling hand. Your other hand, the assisting hand, is also on the bar, but it's only there to give you the absolute minimum help you need to finish the rep. We're going to systematically reduce how much that then helps, forcing your main arm to do more of the work. Here's how it goes. Start by grabbing the bar with your main hand, and have your assisting hand grab your own wrist. This is the wrist grab assisted pull-up. Really focus on pulling with your main arm. The other hand is just there for a bit of help. Once you can do 5-8 reps of that, it's time to progress by using less help. Instead of holding your wrist, your assisting hand will now grab the bar, but with only 4 fingers. Do your pull-ups, again focusing on that main arm. Once you master that, you reduce it again, moving to 3 fingers. Then 2. And finally, the goal for this stage, the one-finger assisted pull-up. What's great about this method is how perfectly it scales to your level. If you're stuck at the 2-finger assist, you just stay there until you get stronger. Every time you remove a finger, you're making a measurable jump in strength. Throughout all of this, form is everything. You have to keep starting the pull with your scapula, just like you mastered in stage 1. Keep your body tight, pull all the way up until your chin clears the bar, and then control the negative all the way down. No half reps. This stage is all about teaching your body and your nervous system how to handle a one-sided pulling motion. It builds strength in a way that directly carries over to the real thing. Your goal to complete stage 2 is to perform 3 sets of 5-8 clean, full range of motion pull-ups using only one finger for help. This might take weeks or it could take months. It doesn't matter. Trust the process. When you can hit those numbers with perfect form, you're ready for the next stage. Stage 3, forging elite eccentric and static strength. If stage 2 was about pulling yourself up, stage 3 is about mastering the art of lowering yourself down, the eccentric phase, and holding your position anywhere in the movement, the static phase. This is where we build the raw, brute strength that makes a one-arm pull-up look easy. A lot of people are surprised to hear that we're way stronger when lowering a weight than when lifting it. We're going to use that fact to make huge strength gains. The main exercise here is the one-arm negative. This is basically a one-arm pull-up in reverse. Get your chin over the bar any way you can. Use 2 hands, jump up, use a box, whatever works. Once your chin is over the bar, lock in your grip with your working arm. Then, let go with your other arm and start to lower yourself down as slowly and as controlled as you possibly can. The goal is time under tension. You should be fighting gravity for every single inch of the descent. I want you to aim for a 5-second negative. The first few times you try this, you might just drop like a rock. That's fine. Your body isn't used to this kind of load. But with practice, you'll be able to slow it down. Focus on keeping that shoulder engaged and your elbow tight to your body. These negatives are incredibly powerful for building strength. The second part of stage 3 is the one-arm lock-off. These are static holds where you just pause at different points of the one-arm pull-up. This exercise absolutely destroys sticking points and builds incredible control. There are 3 key positions to train. First is the top position, chin over the bar. Get up there and just hold it for as long as you can with one arm. The second position is the 90-degree lock-off. Lower yourself to where your elbow is bent at 90 degrees and hold. This is often the hardest part of the movement for most people, so building strength here is crucial. The final position is the 120-degree lock-off, just above a dead hang. This builds strength at the very bottom of the pull. If you can't hold these with one arm at first, use some assistance. Use a few fingers from your other hand, or even a resistance band to take some weight off. The goal is to gradually use less and less help until you can hold these positions with just one arm. To master stage 3, you need to be able to do 3 sets of 3 to 5 perfect one-arm negatives on each arm, with each rep lasting at least 5 seconds. You also need to be able to hold the top 90-degree and 120-degree lock-offs for at least 5 to 10 seconds each, with no assistance. Once you have this level of control, the full one-arm pull-up is finally within reach. Stage 4. Developing explosive power and conquering sticking points. You have the pulling up strength from stage 2 and the lowering down strength from stage 3. Now in stage 4, we combine them and add a new ingredient, explosive power. This is where we close the final gap between all the drills and the real deal. We're going to use 2 specific exercises to get there, the offset pull-up and the partial rep. The offset pull-up is an amazing transition exercise. You'll have your main pulling hand on the bar as usual. Your other hand will be holding onto something lower than the bar. This could be a towel looped over the bar, a gymnastic ring, or another bar on a squat rack. This setup creates an offset, forcing the higher hand, your main pulling hand, to take on most of the weight, while the lower hand gives just enough help to get the rep done. The key is to progressively make the offset bigger. You might start with your helping hand just a few inches lower. As you get stronger, you lower the anchor point. The lower that hand goes, the more your main arm has to work. This exercise is so effective because it perfectly mimics the movement of a one-arm pull-up while still giving you that little boost you need. Focus on being explosive on the way up. Try to pull as hard and fast as you can with your main arm. The second exercise is the partial rep. By now, thanks to all those lock-offs, you know exactly where your personal sticking point is. For a lot of people, it's that 90-degree elbow bend. For others, it's just getting started from the dead hang. Partial reps let you hammer away at these weak spots. If your weakness is the top half, you'll start from the top, lower down halfway, and pull yourself back up, repping out in just that top range. If your weakness is the bottom, you'll do the opposite. Start from a dead hang and pull up as high as you can, even if it's just a few inches, and repeat. By focusing your effort on these specific weak points, you build strength exactly where you need it most. Your goal for stage 4 is to be able to do an offset pull-up where your helping hand is almost down at your chest level. You should be able to hit 3 sets of 3 to 5 explosive reps on each arm. You should also be using partial reps to attack your personal weak points. This stage is all about refinement, turning your raw strength into skillful power. When you feel your power surging in those offset pull-ups, you're on the very brink of achieving your goal. Stage 5, the first full rep and beyond, this is it. The moment everything has been building towards. You've laid the foundation, you've built concentric and eccentric strength, and you've developed explosive power. You are finally ready to try your first full unassisted one-arm pull-up. But don't just run to the bar and start yanking. Be strategic. First, make sure you're fresh. Don't try this after a long workout. Do it at the beginning of your session after a good warm-up. Your body needs to be at 100%. Get on the bar and grab it with an iron grip. I mean, actively try to crush the bar. This will create tension through your entire arm. Get into a hang, but keep your shoulder engaged. Remember that scapular pull from stage 1? Initiate the movement by pulling that shoulder blade down and back. That's your trigger. As you start to pull, squeeze your entire body. This is a full body movement. Squeeze your core like you're about to take a punch. Squeeze your glutes. Keep your legs tight. This full body tension stops you from swinging and focuses all your power into the pull. Your offhand shouldn't just be dangling. You can hold it across your chest or keep it tensed at your side to help maintain that tension. Now pull. Think about driving your elbow down towards your hip. Imagine you're pulling the bar to you, not yourself to the bar. Keep that elbow as close to your body as you can. Don't let it flare out. Pull explosively through the bottom half, fight through that sticking point, and keep pulling until your chin is over the bar. And then, you've done it. Whether you get it on your first shot or it takes a few more tries, the process you followed is what made it possible. When you do get that first rep, enjoy it. It's proof of months of smart, dedicated work. So what's next? Getting 1 rep is amazing, but it's not the end. The goal is to own the movement. The best way to get more reps isn't just to do more one-arm pull-ups. That's a quick way to get hurt. Instead, you'll mix the one-arm pull-up into the training you've already been doing. A great approach is to start your workout with a few low-rep sets of full one-arm pull-ups, maybe 3 sets of 1 to 2 reps. After that, go back to the accessory exercises from the other stages. Do some weighted pull-ups to keep building power. Do some slow negatives to keep building control. Do some offset pull-ups to get more volume in. This combination of practicing the skill while still building the underlying strength is the key to going from 1 rep to 5, 10, and beyond. Conclusion, so there you have it. The 5 stages to your first one-arm pull-up. It's not a magic trick, and it's not a secret for the genetically gifted. It's a roadmap. Stage 1. Forge your foundation with one-arm hangs and scap pulls. Stage 2. Start pulling with one arm using finger-assisted reps. Stage 3. Build superhuman control with slow negatives and lock-offs. Stage 4. Develop explosive power with offset pull-ups and partials. Stage 5. Put it all together for your first clean rep and make a plan to get more. This path takes patience, it takes discipline, and it takes leaving your ego at the door. You have to be willing to spend time on the boring stuff. You have to master each stage before you earn the right to move on. But if you follow this blueprint and commit to the process, the result is guaranteed. That incredible display of strength will become a staple in your toolkit. If this guide helped you out and gave you a clear path forward, do me a favor and hit that like button. It lets me know you want more in-depth guides like this one. And make sure you subscribe so you don't miss what's next. The roadmap is in your hands. The only thing left to do is start. Get to work.